nena takamisa. Is that the way you want? Now you sit by my side and show off like you want to. Haiti, majuti tengo, kucha shimash moshapuka, tapenduka ungula ndoka dona kango kaya, kawali nendi shishi kucho shike shakinda po, poli oka kufa po, kutate kamaliwa, ameno kuhanduka, no kukufa mahaka, ojo haka 47, no kukufa ontofu onda halo kuntufula, ame owonda ja oko, koshaka tisha nangope, ame shindilinga ha onda nika oshibonga, Haiti takamisa, Haiti dengwa nena, hataku, hatiku, hopuli petu, Haiti, yo, dengwa nena takamisa.
How's everybody? First of all, I would like to appreciate everybody who came. I would like to say thank you to Popieni, I call him Sabati, for having organized and arranged this for us to be able to express ourselves. And it's a pity that some people that we expected to be are not here, especially the youth. Yeah, my name is Shikololo. Sort of wrote something. Because I needed to give direct translations. Originality is the ability to create something that isn't copied. Example of our singing, our dancing, our drawings, our way of life. So that brings culture, and culture is our norms that makes us unique. So for other countries or other people that don't know a Vambu, they don't know a Damara, you have to be actually yourself for them to appreciate you. You have to be unique. So that originality, when we're talking about original and to be appreciated by outsiders, you have to be yourself. Poetry is a type of literature based on interplay of words strings together to form sound, images, to describe, something. In culture, you find your originality, and when you put it together and play around, you will be able to do poetry. I was born during the liberation struggle, and I came to Namibia 1990, and I couldn't speak my mother tongue properly. So people used to laugh at us when we speak Oshiwambo. Not only me. So because of that, in my mind somehow, or curiosity, or I don't know how to call it, it brought me closer to my culture. Because I wanted to know, just like anybody who comes as a tourist coming to Namibia and could know more Namibia than Namibians. So I went to that extent that I started speaking even Oshiwambo more than my pals that we grew up together. And that led me to do rap music in vernacular language. But before that, I was sort of, I wanted so much to know about my culture. Because I came like a tourist in my own country, coming from outside, where I was born. So I had an uncle who was a journalist. His name is also Ashivute. He used to be everywhere where there's gatherings, and that was my luck. I used to go to him, and then when I'm with him, I will wait for him to start his car, and I will get in his car, and he will be at a wedding or at a big function where there's traditional people and all those things. Now, I was there with my ears and my eyes and everything wide open, just listening. Yeah. And by doing so, I learned that there is Tatequela, there is Nangeli Nashima. Music was so close to me. Now these people, most of the young people don't know them. Nangeli Nashima is an old lady who passed on now, but she used to do rap, but we call it Okuitanga. It's Nangeli Nashima and it's Kwela, but they just have a guitar, one guitar, which they design themselves. It's not like our acoustic guitars. So, and then by listening to these people, my Oshiwambo started coming in. And then by getting interested in my culture, then I started like knowing who I am somehow and appreciating it. Now through that, I also learned Kwela. Nano Tate Kangwe Kenyala. Tate Kangwe Kenyala is actually a rapper because Okuitanga, I take Tupac. I listen to Tupac, I listen to Biggie, I listen to Heavy D. Then I listen to Tate Kangwe Kenyala. It's rap because rap is actually rhythm and poem. Now, this guy, he will brag about his cattle. He can talk about his name for 20 minutes. These guys, they talk only his name, intro. Yeah. So if you don't know how to do that in Oshiwambo, and you are young and you are amongst your pals, then you are nothing. And that's the rap battle. To me, it's similar. So rap to me, it's not really from where we think it's from. What if they saw us and then they just modify it? You understand? Because it's exactly the same when they talk about their kettles. It's the same like Tupac talking about his group, his gang, his girls, whatever he feel like he owns. So this Tatequela, he will talk about his things, and Tate Kamwekenyala will talk about his things. And then I was like, no, let me do this in my vernacular language. And people were laughing at me. I was young, very young, because as you heard from Popiani, I didn't hear anybody before me doing rap in a vernacular language. So anyway, I came up with my own writings to put any English rap into Oshiwambo. That's how I learned how to speak Oshiwambo. And now I started rhyming with my name because I have to start with my name. You cannot just start without knowing who you are. So my name is Shikololo. So my rhymes would go like, ama me Shikololo, yevene kondobolo, la darewa me kololo, ngashkaparo shipangelo. Paifendino protocolo, kumweno matokolo, mala ihandilolo, kesho shidolo dolo, ngashame mwene, ngisho shipolo polo, peinge mbako, ndimushikilo ngalo, manga tulipo shivilo, ou taumbo holo, tadengwa kongolo, shatuti molo, manga toholo. It's just... So, doing that with first the laws, only LO. I cannot just stand with the laws. So I must go also to the po or mbo. Vatuilango ndubo, eshindalande umbo, no tuayo terbo, ay planinga no hombo, no shundashi ikombo, ngashondale shomambo. So I went around until I mastered it. Yeah. So I then met my friend Fidel Odell when I came from Europe, because I went back to Europe after I felt like I know Oshiwambo now, I myself. So I went back to Europe. I got a bursary to go and do some other things. It's not music. And then in Europe, I saw these people, they were rapping in their own languages, white people. Then I was like, this rap thing is supposed to be for blacks, and these white people doing this. Let me start here while I'm in Germany, because now I will even forget how to speak my mother tongue, because now I'm back in Europe, there's nobody to speak to. So I will just rap in my vernacular while I'm there. And the people started loving it. So immediately when I came here, I saw Fidel. We used to rap together. I saw some old friends, and then I told them, guys, I'm going to rap in Oshiwambo. And they were like laughing at me, except Fidel. Then Fidel told me, Shikololo, I'm at KCR. Let's go to KCR and do our thing. So we went to KCR. People like it. We got a call from somebody from NBC. Me and Fidel, we went to NBC. We told them. They said, no, we know you. We saw you the other day. Oh, yeah, so what's your name? So we didn't have a name. It was just Shikololo and Fidel. And we are there, and they're asking us, and we are live. We are getting live on stage and on air. So I was like, what's our name? Then somebody say Shikololo. And Shikololo became the name that brought up hip hop in vernacular language. And that song was Takamisa Todengwanena.
Now let me continue, cause this ain't the end. But if you don't wanna listen, then you're not my friend. I'ma lay back and you better stay back while I'm checking down my menu before I still continue. Over ya over hapu ukadona so sexy. I chose one, I like her, her mom called her Maxi. And if you don't mind, and I just don't mind, and if you're coming around my way, baby.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here, or the inspiration behind what I'm saying is, we get a lot of influences from outside. That's why we can't really be ourselves. And our education system also don't allow us to really be ourselves, because we are made to go and look for work so you can get something in your stomach. But there are different ways. Now, the only way in our caliber is like you study and then you get a job and then 85. I want us youth to understand who we are and our background. Most of the things that we used to do, still now, they are not known to the world. And the world, they are running out of what they are showing themselves all the time. So for us is to modify our things, our own things. Somebody spoke about it here. We need a genre for Namibia. Nigeria, they have their own already, and even the Americans are running to them. They want to collaborate with them. It shows that if the Nigerians, they have it, and South Africans and Zimbabweans, what's wrong with us? Yeah, so something is wrong with us ourselves. So we have to do this on our own, maybe without even any help. You, me, we start it and we create it, or we make a research, because there's a lot that's in the past that needs to be brought to where we are, and from here to paint the future with who we are, being original. Then we will be appreciated by the rest of the world. That's my message. Thank you.
Shikololo, Hakati.